Hello viewers, my name is Zach Hardy, and this is Holy Cross Crusaders Franchise Mode Part 21. We are in the wild card round of the playoffs, and if you've been watching and following throughout the entire season, or maybe you just saw the last episode, you would know that we earned a bye week this week, so we do not have to play in the wild card round. We just skip straight to the divisional round. We also have a home field bye, or the home field advantage, I'm sorry. We have the bye week, obviously, but we also have home field advantage, which means throughout the playoffs, until the Super Bowl, we are playing in Alumni Field in Waterbury, Connecticut. Now, you might ask me why I'm making a video during the wild card week if there's nothing really to do during the wild card week. No trades, no free agency, nothing. Well, this is why. As you can see in the title, we have to go through the entire list of statistics for the entire team and see where everybody ranked, see what everybody did, etc. However, to be honest with you, some of these would surprise you. Like, if you only watched the first half of the season and now you're watching now because it's the playoff time and you want to see where we go, the fact that William Guglielmo was our top receiver may surprise you. Anyway, let's go through it. Corey Papiano, our starting quarterback, 3,098 yards, 186 completions off of 290 pass attempts, which is pretty damn good. 30 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, not bad, but not great either. An average of 193.6 yards per game, passer rating of 107.2, yards per attempt about 10.7, longest pass was 80 yards, was sacked 20 times, played 16 games, and 559 downs. Backup, Alphonse Vacanji, who we put in when we were up big, besides that 1 week where he threw 4 picks. 91 yards off of 9 completions for 19 attempts, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. Yards per game, 15.2. Passer rating of 39.4. Yards per attempt, on average, 4.8. Sacked twice, played 6 games, and played 57 downs. So that was our quarterback situation. Rushing, Mark August, our starting halfback, 228 carries this season, 1,622 yards in total, which I believe was amongst the top 5 or the top 3 halfbacks in the league. 7.1 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns on the season. Average yards per game is 100.4. 1 fumble on the season. 34 broken tackles. 350 yards after contact. Longest run was 93 yards. Played in 16 games and 481 downs. Corey Papiano, our quarterback, with 31 carries, 187 rushing yards on 31 carries. 6 yards per carry. 2 rushing touchdowns. 11.7 yards on average per game, 5 fumbles, 1 broken tackle, 10 yards after contact. Fullback Phil Serva, 9 carries, 67 rushing yards, 7.4 yards per carry, and 4 broken tackles. Now receiving, as I said at the top of the video, William Guglielmo was our star receiver for good reason. 50 receptions, 1,208 total yards receiving. Average receiving yards per reception was 24.2. Average yards per game was 75.5. 12 receiving touchdowns. 587 run after catch yards. Run after catch average was about 11.7. Longest reception was for 76 yards, etc. Wyatt Shea, the tight end, 49 receptions, 582 receiving yards. 11.9 yards average per reception. Per game, 36.4 yards. 5 touchdowns. DeAndre Wallace, 37 receptions, 449 receiving yards, 12.1 average yards per game. Average per reception. Average yards per game, 28.1, 3 touchdowns on the season. Kingston Zenick, 35 receptions, 739 yards. Average about 21.1 per reception, 46.2 yards on average per game, 9 touchdowns. Mark August, 13 receptions, 92 yards, no touchdowns. Adam Raza, 9 receptions, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Phil Serva, 4 receptions, 17 yards, and 1 touchdown. Blocking, Matt Doran, 6 sacks allowed. Justin Babarski, 5 sacks allowed. Alex Wood, 3 sacks allowed. Owen Hernandez, 2 sacks allowed. And Justin Alamo, 1 sack allowed. On defense, middle linebacker Brandon Barron, 42 solo tackles, 41 assisted tackles, 83 tackles in total for Brandon Barron, 7 tackles for loss, 0.5 QB sacks, 1 interception, 19 interception return yards, etc. Cole Foster, the other middle linebacker, 35 solo tackles, 40 assisted tackles, 75 tackles in total, 9 tackles for loss, 3 QB sacks this season, 1 interception, and 1 interception yard. Vincent Graziano, free safety, 28 solo tackles, 32 assisted tackles, 60 tackles in total, 4 tackles for loss, 1 interception. Nicholas DeMatteis, 27 solo tackles, 29 assisted tackles, 56 tackles in total, 7 tackles for loss. And that's that. Derek Pruden, our cornerback, 31 solo tackles, 24 assisted tackles, 55 tackles in total, 2 tackles for loss, no sacks, 2 picks for 3 yards. Tito Nieves had an awesome second half of the season, and Tito was the boss. 21 solo tackles, 31 assisted tackles, 52 tackles in total, 9 tackles for loss, fucking 12 sacks for Tito. Tito finished the season with the most sacks of anybody on the team by a long shot. 12 sacks for Tito. Most of that coming from the second half of the season, but still, awesome statistic. John Goggin, our cornerback, 27 solo tackles, 21 assisted tackles, 48 tackles in total, and 0.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, of course. I believe all 3 of those came in one game, if I'm not mistaken. Quinton Rollins, who is not on the team for some reason, ended up playing on defense. I don't know why. Maybe somebody got injured. 20 solo tackles, 27 assisted, 47 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, 0.5 sacks. Donovan Montville, our right outside linebacker, 24 solo tackles, 21 assisted tackles, 45 tackles in total, 6 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. Matt Judson, left outside linebacker, 10 solo tackles, 31 assisted tackles, 41 tackles in total, 14 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Zaire Roundtree, 13 solo tackles, 22 assisted tackles, 35 tackles in total, 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Tavian Whitehead, 14 solo tackles, 7 assisted tackles, 21 tackles in total, 6 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. The rest are people that really shouldn't have any statistics. So yeah, Brendan Barron definitely wins Defensive Player of the team this year. Kicker, Connor Dunn, 12 for 13 on field goals. Longest field goal was 57 yards. He was 92% on field goals. 45 for 48 extra points made. Punting, Sean Austin, 15 punts for 608 yards. 40.5 yards per punt. 534 average return yards. Net yards about 35.7. 1 touchback inside the 24. And then kick return. Karan Brown, 8 kick returns for 194 kick return yards. Average 24.3. Longest kick return was for 31 yards. And yeah, Lee August, 24 kick returns, 561 kick return yards. 23.4 kick return yards on average. 40 yards was his longest kick return. DeAndre Wallace, 3 kick returns, 4 kick return yards. Those were obviously on fucking onside kicks. 1.3 kick return yards on average, and 3 yards was the longest return he had. And then punt returns, Lee August took them all. 23 punt return attempts for Lee August, 285 punt return yards, 12.4 punt return yards on average. Longest punt return was for 37 yards, etc. And that was the statistics for this season. Now we're going into awards. A lot of the awards should be presumably aimed for the Crusaders, because they're all technically rookies. John Goggin won NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 3 tackles, 3 picks, and 2 touchdowns in Week 3. In week 9, Corey Fabiano, 25 of 32, 544 pass yards, 6 pass touchdowns, 3 picks, 2 sacks, 2 carries, 22 rushing yards. That's what won him NFC Offensive Player of the Week in week 9. Week 11, Mark August, 12 carries, 210 rush yards, 3 rush touchdowns, 1 reception for 10 reception yards. That's what won him NFC Offensive Player of the Week in week 11. In week 13, William Guglielmo with 6 receptions, 138 reception yards for 2 reception touchdowns, won NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Tito Nieves in week 15 won NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 5 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And that was it for weekly awards. Now we go into the yearly awards. And NFL MVP was Phillip Rivers with the San Diego Chargers. Nobody for the Crusaders. Mike Giampetruzzi got 3rd place in Coach of the Year with the Crusaders overall. Let's go to the NFC. NFC Offensive Player of the Year was Tony Romo with the Cowboys. Mark August came in 4th with the Crusaders. And that was that. Defensive Player of the Year went to Eric Kendricks. I would have thought Tito would have been there. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Mark August. Mark August won Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC. He came in 1st place. Corey Fabiano came in 4th place with the Crusaders. William Guglielmo came in 5th place. Kingston Zenit came in 8th place. Defensive Rookie of the Year, DeForest Buckner with my 49ers. Went 5-10-1, obviously, this season. But ended up winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Where's Tito? Tito ended up coming in 10th place with the Crusaders in Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best quarterback, Corey Fabiano, comes in 4th place. Best running back, Mark August wins Best Running Back in the NFC. Best wide receiver, William Guglielmo, comes in 3rd. And Kingston Zenit nowhere to be found. Best offensive lineman, Owen Hernandez, comes in 3rd place with the Crusaders. Alex Ward comes in 5th place with the Crusaders. Justin Babarski comes in 6th place with the Crusaders. And Justin Alamo comes in 7th place with the Crusaders. Defensive lineman, DeForest Buckner coming in 10th, but nobody with the Crusaders. Best linebacker, nobody. Defensive back, nobody. Best kicker, Connor Dunn wins Best Kicker of the Year in the NFC with the Crusaders. And that's that. No punter category. Wow. So there's that. Let's look at any different or any new records from this season or in the game, maybe. Oh, wow. Wow. Corey Fabiano. In a single game, Corey Fabiano holds the 2nd best record for passing yards in a single game with 544. My God. And if that isn't enough for you, hey, he should be up there. 6 touchdowns. Rushing yards. Nope. Rushing touchdowns. Single game, nope. Receiving yards, nobody. Nobody for receiving touchdowns. Catches, nobody would be in there. Defensive sacks, nobody. Defensive interceptions, that's not going to happen again. Yep, okay. What about in a season? How about rushing yards? Nope. Yeah, he's not coming in here. Okay. Oh, receiving yards, maybe? No. Guglielmo just barely misses it. Receiving touchdowns, maybe? Oh, no. Catches? No. That wouldn't be the case. Nope. Okay. Okay, so Corey Fabiano throws the second most passing yards in a single game in NFL history. That's big. That's impressive. 2nd in the NFL in points allowed, 30th in the NFL in offensive yards. Mark August comes in 2nd with rushing yards overall, 3rd in rushing touchdowns overall. 18th overall in points scored. Yeah, that's interesting. That's pretty crazy. So Mark August, definitely the star of the team this year. And as you saw, we finished with a 13-3 record. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm more than likely going to upload a single episode besides this one, because we're going to play the divisional round game. As you're watching this, I'm probably in the middle of the defensive, or I'm probably in the middle of the divisional round game. But I'm more than likely going to upload one episode a day until I finish the Super Bowl, in which case that's the end of the season and the end of season 1 of this series. But just that way, maybe it's like the divisional round game, then the championship game go in the same day, and you watch the championship game knowing that I already won the divisional round game. It wouldn't make much sense. So I'm going to try to fixture that around. I don't know. Anyway, guys, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm Zach Hardy, signing off.